What's up guys, Cameron Hill here with a new Project Power Wheels Jeep video. It's been a while since the last time you've seen this. I've done a decent amount of work off camera. I haven't really been focusing much on the YouTube channel with school starting. But in today's video I figured I might as well show you guys what you have missed. Now the first thing that you'll notice is probably these tires. I really hope that you can see everything with this GoPro on my head. But I got some, they were off a Power Wheels ATV, and my whole concept for this Jeep is I want to keep it like stock Jeep styling, or stock Power Wheel styling, so plastic tires, electric, and not like a metal tube frame chassis. That's kind of what I've decided I want to keep this thing, with like the direction I want to go with it. So, with that in mind, I know you're probably gonna think, why would you do plastic tires on something like this if you're building it? Plastic tires, for at least what I'm doing, since it's saying rear wheel drive, it's going to be doing mostly mud. Plastic floats on mud a bit better than my rubber tires did. And these are a good size for it. They fit it nicely. The rubber tires I had were expensive and they were really small. So, with those reasons, that's why I chose to do these. I bought some cheap ones off of my friend. They have some cracks in them. So if you can see this, I put some duct tape over it to cover up these holes. It does just fine. It's not really that big of a deal. Eventually I will have to change it, and I probably will be buying new tires for these. But another big thing that I changed is the front bumper. This is the new front bumper. I bought it off of the same Power Wheels four-wheeler. It's been sitting out in the weather for a little bit, so obviously there's some problems with it. If you can see this, I hope you can. This all needs to be fixed and mounted up higher. This will get cut out and replaced, kind of. I'm going to be putting a metal piece here to kind of fix the look of it, and most likely doing some other stuff. These are the new headlight covers that I have made. If we go over here to my toolbox, not this is my dad's toolboxes and stuff. This is my personal toolbox. I probably have more tools in here than most people will in a lifetime, but these are the headlights that I modified to work with this. So I just used the Dremel. Probably shouldn't leave that plugged in. But yes, I used the Dremel to cut this thing up for the headlights, and I used it for this bumper, and I shaved off the part of this that said Kawasaki at one point. So now that we got all the stuff that you've missed pretty much out of the way, let's move on to the big project that I'm extremely excited for. So with that in mind, let's get this thing up in the air. Now you're probably thinking to yourself, why is he using a jack to lift up a plastic kid's toy? This thing's heavier than you think. I've put a decent amount of metal stuff on it to prevent things from breaking, considering that it is made out of plastic. I want to keep it somewhat strong. So, yeah, this is the easiest way, and I'm the only person home right now, so this just makes things a little bit easier. It's chilly out today. Good thing I got this heater in here. Alright, front end is in the air. Now let's get these wheels off. Yes, I don't know if you can see this, but it's my favorite wrench, snap-on wrench. If you don't have snap-on, at least get 1 or 2 tools. They're so nice. I have a lot of Craftsman stuff, but the few snap-on things I do own, being that I am only 16, they're very nice tools. They're awesome for working on stupid stuff like this, or working on, say, I don't know how well you can see it, but it's undercover. It's a 700 horse 95 Mustang Cobra track car. Just helping my dad out with that thing. I love using the snap-on tools. This is not a brand deal. I wish. I only have like 95 subscribers, but okay, wheels off. Super lightweight. Didn't really do too much modifications to the front wheels. The rear ones I had to do a decent amount, being that it is a solid axle, which I'll try to show you right now. I'm not sure how well you're going to be able to see that, but it's a solid axle in the rear with a bike gear sprocket on it. And the motor needs to be adjusted, and I need to get a new motor for it. The motor that's currently in it is a mock-up motor, just to make the engine mount and all that, which I need to adjust, because currently it does not move the chain straight. I will insert a clip right here if I have it. So now you can see why it's not driving right now. But I'll put one wheel here. I had this thing sitting up on stands for a couple days with the front end in the air in my backyard, so I could get under it and test out some stuff for what I'm about to do. And it blew off one day when it got real windy. So a couple things like this got flown up, and that paint right there got chipped, and this wheel, I forgot where it's right here. This stuff got real scratched, because this tire was actually like not scratched whatsoever on the side of it, which was funny. But yeah. Okay. Now, if I haven't already said it, we are going to be doing brakes. If I already said it, I will be bleeping that out, so you wouldn't have ever heard it until just now. But that's coming up. I get distracted easily too, if you don't know. Let's cut that. I will be making disc brakes for this. I have ordered off of Amazon. Actually, in a second, I will see if I can show you without giving up on my account information. All the things that I've ordered for this. And excuse the messy garage, I know. It's not great, but it's better than nothing. Okay, so I have bought bike disc brakes for this and some bearings, and I will be doing my best to explain how all this stuff will work. Okay, so right here, these are the bearings. Okay, so right here, these are the bearings that I've ordered. I'm not sure how well you can see that, but there's the bearings I've ordered right there. They are 7/8. They are 7/16. They will be welded on with the new welder that I got right here. It's actually my dad's, but I should be able to use it. They will be welded on here because these axles do not move. Therefore, I need something to move on here to mount the rotor to. So I have a 3D printer, which was going to make this a lot easier. I will be welding bearings to these axles, and then I will be making a 3D printed hub. Kinda like on this car, if you can see it. This part right here is on the inside of this rotor. Now, that hub on mine will be 3D printed. And then we will be mounting the rotor to the outside of that with the bolts and everything from it. And that whole piece will be able to spin freely. Now, how is that going to stop the wheels? I will be taking apart these wheels, which, because they're a two-piece, I can, and drilling holes and welding, JB welding, some bolts in here. These bolts will come through, and they will mount to the rotor itself with a nut and everything. Those then will be one piece, so those will be able to move in unison with each other. And when those are able to move with each other, that will make this essentially the same thing as a car brake. Now, the way that I will be doing the caliper is sliding these forward a little bit. This is going to be our spacers between the two. So, bearing these spacers in a flat piece of metal, which will be coming either out the front or out the back, flush with this, which I need to clamp down so we don't have any problems with it. And it'll be coming out, let's just say they're going to go in the back. Out, over, back, and then the caliper will be right here. Pretty simple. Brake lines will go up. It should be a lot of fun for me to build. So let's mock it up. Alright, where did I leave off? What I'm going to be doing today is making some quick little templates of the rotor for this, and seeing kind of where it's going to be fitting with those wheels. Because my current concern is if I take this off and I put a wheel on here, I'm going to put the driver's side wheel on the passenger side, but whatever. That's as far back as the wheel goes on this. And that's how much threads we have. Now, this isn't the end of the world, because even if it is like that and I can't use those anymore, the wheel is already pretty sturdy, even if I had it like that. The wheel's pretty sturdy. It's not sturdy on there anyways, but once there's a caliper that is fixed to this and the wheel's bolted to that, that can be the full support for the wheel. I don't think it will bend it. Now, I don't think, that's not I'm sure it won't. So that's kind of scary, but worst case scenario is I take these out, so this little L piece, and I make my own, which would be about out to here, I think, and then I'd cut it down to wherever it needs to be. That's worst case scenario, though. Hopefully it doesn't get to that point, but that is why I'm going to be trying to find this out today. So, step number 1, I think, should be to get some cardboard and start cutting this out. And we're going to do a cut right here. Yeah, we're going to do a cut right here. Nah. Okay, so now that we have our cardboard, do you guys want the Rice Krispie treat side or the cardboard side? These guys are kind of creepy looking, so we're going to the cardboard side. And I really hope I don't forget to edit that out of the video and post. Yikes. Now, I kind of know the general size of these brakes. Not that it matters, though, because I'm not really going for size. Because this is clearly an oval and not a circle. If I was going for it, then I would have definitely done this. Because brakes, different size. The ones that I ordered are kind of small. But that's actually relatively close from top to bottom on this. So now, what I'm going to do is just, I guess it doesn't really matter too much. I'll just make a hole somewhere in the middle. If you're wondering, that's WD-40 for me to clean up some rust on some bolts. I got a lot of crap in here, like fuel pump and stuff like that. So excuse the mess. And random foam. Where'd I put this thing? Oh, I got extra GoPro mounts though. That's always good. I really hope it's not in this drawer. Because if it is, and I didn't see it, then I actually am mad. Okay, cool, it's right here. Alright. Right there, looks about good. Oh, and I think I was supposed to give a shout out to this kid that I recently met. He actually started off talking a bunch of crap on my YouTube. Not sure why, but I can forgive him for that. So shout out to Rumblin Engines. He looks relatively young, but he's got some cool stuff. It looks like he's got a couple ATVs, UTV or a little farmhand stuff. But it seems to be relatively intelligent for his age. Knows quite a bit about some stuff. But he did ask for me to give him a shout out. Normally I wouldn't, but he wants to get to 50 subscribers pretty bad, so I figured I don't get a ton of views, but anything will help. So go subscribe to Rumblin Engines. I will leave his link in the description to this video. So if we are going to be mounting these brakes, so let's consider this as the brake rotor, or call that the brake rotor. If we take these off, well actually, these things suck to take on and off, so I'm not going to take them off yet, but we just call this piece right here the caliper bracket, and we just make a little incision in it here. Then, okay, so we're just gonna call this the caliper bracket. It doesn't need to be perfect, but if this thing were to sit flush up against there, that's close enough. It's probably going to be a little bit thicker than that, so I will give it some spacing. And I know that this piece will probably be about the size of a bearing, so let's give that some room. And then we're gonna give it some room in front of that too. Let's see how far we can actually fit this piece on. Okay, well, that's about it right there. Which kind of sucks. But the good news is I can eliminate this piece now that I'm looking at it, which is why you should always mock things up when you're building stuff. Especially custom stuff like this that nobody has ever done before. If I were to have these off, and I'll do this to make this a little bit easier on me. Okay, so let's say the rotor's there, and the caliper bracket is right about there. Now I need to remember that I need some room for the actual caliper, so I need to have about that much room on either side of it. And we run this right there. We'll give it a little bit more room. Now, how stable is this? That's pretty stable. Now, worst case scenario, actually, I have a better case scenario than the original worst case scenario I said. Now, if you can keep up with that, then you get a cookie. But I will cut this out, because that's not doing any structural support. And then this inner part of these two-piece wheels will actually be what will be mounted, which is how these things work pretty much anyways. I can just cut this out and put the lug nut in there anyways. If that makes any sense. Sorry, it's cold out here, so if you're hearing sniffles throughout this whole thing, my bad. But, yeah, it's actually looking pretty good for me with this. Now, remember, this is just a first video for a series I will be doing called, Project Power Wheels Jeep Custom Brakes. This is episode 1, which is the recap of it. Make sure you stay tuned. The other videos will be getting better. I will be having one of my buddies come over and kind of help with this. I'll be doing some welding on it. When we get the brakes here, I'll do an unboxing of just what you get for $20 from Amazon for the brakes, and then $10 for bearings. And yeah, we'll see where this goes. Hopefully I can get some subscribers off of this. Kind of boost a little bit of influence on here. And, yeah, this, by the way, this is all kind of done on a budget. None of this is high budget stuff. I mean, I have plastic tires. I could have bought some ridiculously awesome rubber tires for this, and that would have been so cool. But I didn't, because I can't really afford that right now. And I don't really feel like spending a bunch of money on this when I need to be buying a car. Like, things like the suspension. Suspension is just kind of a supporting part, because to get actual suspension for this, that would have, like, really worked for the application. It would have been really expensive. These are real, but they aren't doing any purpose like that. And, like, a lifting block, this is out of wood. Could have made it out of metal, but that's more expensive. So, just keep some things in mind when you're seeing this, like plastic, pink plastic showing. But yeah, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give it a like. If you didn't, give it a dislike, and tell me why in the comment section, so that way I can improve on it in my next video. Make sure you share this video to some of your friends if they're looking to do something fun to theirs. If you have a kid or something along those lines, then maybe you can do some cool brakes and a cool motor and stuff like that I did. Yeah, but peace out, and I hope you all have a good night. Bye.